barriers are one of the most straightforward and easy to understand concepts in all of threading. And today, right now, we are going to see an example of how to create a barrier, how to use a barrier with threads, what exactly will it do, how it will affect our program and threads in particular. And then we will also discuss in which kind of scenarios they might be useful. So let's start with the example and just import external modules that we need. Of course, threading, everything related to threads is here. And then we will also need two additional modules. One will be time and another will be random. So why will we need time? Well, threads usually are used whenever we have to divide some work which takes at least some amount of time, and depending on the scenario, it could be very different scale. So we can have a thread that we spawn just for a couple of minutes, and we could have a pool of threads that we keep alive and we keep reassigning tasks to them. We can also have some background thread in addition to the main thread of the application that lives throughout the whole life of the application, which might be weeks or months or maybe even years. So depending on the scenario, the threads can live for a different amount of time. But usually to just see, like in this educational example that we are creating here, what exactly different things related to threads will do, or how those concepts actually materialize in practice, we need to simulate some work. And instead of writing a whole application from scratch, which will just first of all take our time and also will take away our attention from the actual topic, which is threads, and in this particular case barriers, we just use time to simulate some work. And we will use random to make our threads work with different times. So some of them will take like 1 second to complete their work, some of them will take 2 seconds, 5, and so on, depending on what exactly we will choose. But we want them to work differently. So we don't want them to all finish their task immediately. And just to see what exactly will this barrier do, because they will wait at the barrier. And now let's create a worker function. So we have at least one thread in our application, and that's the main thread. There's no application that has 0 threads. And then we spawn from the thread new threads, which oftentimes are called workers. And every time, or in every scenario, a thread will be executing some function. Of course, this function can be very complex, can be very big, can be like second main function or something like this. But in our case, it will be just like a small worker function. And so always thread will have something that a target. How is it? It's called like this in Python, that it will execute. And this target can accept some arguments. In our case, we want to pass the barrier. There will be a single barrier in our script that will pass to the worker. And this barrier will be an instance, an object of threading.barrier, barrier from threading. And besides this, we will want to distinguish between our threads. So we will pass an ID, an integer, an index, to know which exactly thread it is. And now we can print that we are starting the work from thread with ID. After that, immediately after that, we go to sleep, and we sleep not always the same amount of time. We use random uniform from 1 to 8 seconds, and for us to see how different threads will arrive at the barrier at different times. And so after that work, we can say thread arrives at the barrier. Yeah, and now we call this barrier here and we ask to wait. And for what it will be waiting? Well, barrier means that it's, like the name suggests, that it will be blocking something. What it could block in this scenario? Of course, the thread. It will prevent it when it reaches the barrier and starts waiting. It will prevent it from executing further until some condition is met. What is the condition here? Well, barrier will have a counter. It will count how many threads are waiting already at the barrier. If there is, if the amount of threads reaches this counter or this threshold, then the barrier opens up and it allows the threads to execute further. But if the threads arrive at different times, and of course always there will be some offset, and then the first one arrives and it has to wait. It has reached the barrier. Barrier blocks it from further execution. And then the second one, and so on, up until all the threads, depending on how many threads we set here for the barrier, for the counter of the barrier to be. And then after the last one arrives here, then all of them are allowed to proceed at the same time. And so that's barrier. Very straightforward concept. And we can print now that we can just copy this, by the way. Finished execution. And that's it. That's the whole worker function. Now we can create main function. And here we'll create our barrier. Of course, from barrier, barrier from threading. And we give it some counter. How many threads should it await? 5. Let's say 5. And now we can create threads in a list using list comprehension. I will create 5 threads. So we create thread objects from threading, and it needs a target function that it will execute, this worker. And since the worker expects 2 arguments, we also have to pass them here. So arguments will be what? Will be the barrier from here and I. And I is created here. This list comprehension for I in range. So n times we will create thread objects here. So in the end we'll have m threads in this list in range. And n in our case will be 5. Those are the threads. Now we can iterate for thread in threads and start each of them. So right now, we up until this point, we have only created thread objects, but they are not yet doing anything, and they haven't started working. In some languages like C++, the moment you create a thread, it starts execution immediately. Here in Python, you have to call start explicitly. And then we can wait till they finish execution using join. And in the end, we can print that all threads have finished execution or have finished. And now let's call if name equals main, and we just start our main function. Okay, let's start. Line 12. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here as well. I hate this. have to fix my editor to do this indentation for me. Def main. And here, this is of course string. Okay, so this was, I think, too fast. Let's make it between 1 and 30 to see it better. You see, thread 0 arrives at the barrier, but it doesn't proceed till here, till all the threads will arrive. Now thread 3 arrived at the barrier, but it's also waiting. Why? Because we said the number of threads that barrier awaits is 5. Now thread 2, and when the 5th thread arrived at the barrier, then suddenly all of them finished execution because barrier was lifted and they were able to complete. Now, what will happen if the number here will be greater than the number of threads? We will never finish. So you have to be careful with that. Yeah, by the way, we can now, I think, decrease it to 5. And then just to see, let's stop and let's start again. And all of the threads that we have created arrived at the barrier, but none of them was allowed to proceed. That's because barrier awaits 8 threads. And now if we have, let's say, 5 threads for the barrier and we create 20 threads, what will happen? All of them are in groups of 5 allowed to proceed. This is because this 5, this counter here, it's not for the lifetime of the program. Like barrier opens and closes and can be used throughout your throughout the life of your Python application. So it will always await 5, and if you have like some multiplication of 5, multiple of 5 elements or thread objects, then the barrier will be awaiting first 5 threads, then it will be open, then the next 5, and so on and so forth. But of course, if we, for example, did here 22 instead of 20, and then the last 2 will never reach the end. And that's pretty much it.